sexual harassment policies for the state legislature. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is New Jersey State Assemblywoman Carol Murphy. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about the importance, as you believe it to be, of a piece of legislation. It's Assembly Bill 3312, and it would require the legislature to adopt certain policies when it comes to reporting sexual harassment and sexual harassment training. Why is it so important for the legislature to have these types of policies in place?
Well, the major importance is that we as a legislature set examples. We have to assure the public that if we expect certain expectations from them to follow, whether it's business, in anything that they do, home life, private life, especially our authorities and our agencies who are there to help our residents, we have to be the ones to say we're doing it too. And this piece of legislation is very passionate about this piece of legislation, along with many others that I intend on introducing around this subject, which a lot of women legislators, and we have a lot of support from men, are anxious to see. When I got elected and we started talking about the Me Too movement, because it has exploded tremendously, it's no longer, I should say it's not discriminatory. It can happen anywhere. And it's a balance trick that we have to be able to do, because one person's sensitivity to sexual harassment is maybe not another person. So we have to assure that people understand what sexual harassment is in the terms of for training. So when I got elected, I sat down with the legislators, HR people, and they had a policy, but nobody knew it existed. And it was surprising to me because coming from a staffing world, I worked with many other legislators, we never knew it existed, nor was there training. So now it's time, working with the Speaker, this bill is an overall bigger part of a solution. Once those new policies are adopted and they come out, we're going to assure that it continues. And that's what this bill does, is to assure that the speakers after Craig Coughlin, the governor after Governor Murphy, are all well equipped to be able to establish policies and keep them in place.
And as you mentioned, this is part of what you're hoping is an overall larger policy as it relates to sexual harassment. This bill specifically requires members, officers, employees of the legislature to complete online training every 2 years. Correct. And you say that's important so that standards are maintained and that members of the legislature are up to date.
Absolutely. Our staff is well equipped to take training. We do ethics training every year. Our staff has to partake in those ethics trainings along with us as legislators. We meet with our ethics advisor once a year as a legislator, and our staff does. So why not sexual harassment? This is more than just a one-time event. This is going to happen in certain fields until we are able to change the environment of everybody being acceptable to be equality on a job.
And you've already introduced this legislation.
I have introduced it, and like I said, the policies from the Speaker are forthcoming shortly, and we're going to start coinciding that with the release of those.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We've been talking with New Jersey State Assemblywoman Carol Murphy. I'm Jill Horner.